Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Holme, and we are continuing our franchise Hockey Manager 6 playthrough with your Colorado Avalanche. An interesting season in that I made a lot of changes in the save I did yesterday, the single one, with a time of recording yesterday, but the single season I did with a bunch of trades, and we had Connor Hellebuck and whatnot. There was a lot of changes, and that team basically finished 13th in the league overall, and about 93 points, I believe, maybe 92 points. And McKinnon had, I believe, a 50-goal season and 111 points. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but we were kind of 1-for-1 goals for and against ratio, and not a great season for the amount of trading and work and what we'd given up to get there. So, yeah. The whole point of this one was to give us a season just as a baseline of what to expect and how we can get things moving in the right direction, hopefully, for the future. And what it's come up to is, you can tell by the record, pretty dang similar. Really similar. Now, okay, Johnson isn't that much different to what we've had before. Kemaka's got a bit of a growth. So has Gerard. I believe Grubar went up to that 3. I think he might have been a 2.5. He actually grew into the 3. Landeskog grew into the 4. Nikushkin, I'm not sure if he was a 2 or not, but he's 2.5 now. Rantanen's gained a little bit, I think, over the season. Jost has gained as well. But I'm looking at maybe trading Jost because I'm not a big fan of what he does right now. And honestly, there's a few other players that I think would fill the role I have in mind for him. So maybe he's a trading asset. Now he's at a much better place than he was. I think he was 2-star. Actually, I think he was a 2-star or 2.5-star, 4-star potential. So he's lost a little bit of potential, but he's gained that ability. So pretty much everybody's gained ability. Nobody's lost any. I don't believe so anyway. Maybe Colin Wilson was a 2, I believe, actually. So, yeah, maybe he's gone down a touch. But apart from that, everybody went up and in. You might also see the slight changes that were made. Oh, accidentally skipped forward a day. And, yeah, okay. That's on me. Not the best start either. So if we go into the list of transactions into the log, you'll see here. So on the 31st of July, there's a little bit of business. So we get the rights to Pinto, who is a decent... Oh, we're actually going to have to go in. Very decent, not as big as the league thinks, but also that used to be 4.5-star, and this used to be 4. So I believe it was a 1-star, 4-star against a 0.5-star, 4.5. So he's not gained any ability for the league, for what they think he is, but he has gained a touch of potential. And whereas he's gained, I believe, a little bit of ability and potential for us. So he's come in. He looks pretty decent. He was the key piece I brought in from Ottawa, as well as a second, and I did the deal then for Kvachka, Steinberg, Smirnov, Zurolev, and what you can't see there is a 7th. And then I did another deal because I realized the whole point was to get Kamenev out, and we kind of screwed that. So 2 4s for the 3rd for Kamenev, 2 6s, and 2 7s. They all went through quite easily. They didn't both go through on the same day. They both went in July, but I don't know why they're showing in the same day. I also don't know why this is happening. The picture is totally glitched. So a couple of like day one issues with the game that are slowly getting fixed. I know there's one bug that they've patched out already. There's still a couple hanging around, but they are very proactive in getting that done. Yeah, so basically what the deal is. We got in Pinto, we gave up Kamenev, Kvacha, Steinberg, Smirnov, and Zuralev. Now, when I did the deals individually, when I sort of measured them out, Kamenev I could get for a third. Fourth was they'd be very likely, and even a second said it was balanced. So a third was about his value. That's kind of how I rate it. Same for Kvacha. Steinberg was a fourth, and I just threw in Smirnov and Zuralev because we don't need them as make weights. I didn't actually test those. And Pinto was actually available for a third as well. So him and Kamenev are somehow more or less a wash. And then the value of a third, a fourth, 2 6s, and 3 7s. So 5 late picks, 2 mid-round picks. And for that, we got 2, 3, and 4 back. So I definitely think we won the trade, especially with Pinto growing potential. I was expecting him to actually drop down to a 4-star rather than grow to a 5. So, yeah. That's kind of cool. But yeah, that gives us an option up front. That also makes Tyson Jost that little bit more available. Of course, Pinto might never develop into that kind of player, but that's how it all went. And a few of you might be thinking, but hold on, like we just saw Kamenev in your team, so if you traded him, then why is he back? Well, you can see on September 30th, I got an email saying that there were interesting players on waivers. John Gillies, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but big lad, solid backup goaltending, 2.5-star potential. I thought that was a very, very good pickup on waivers. And then, of course, Kamenev as well. Since his, since in this version of the game, this save, he's not a disloyal player or whatever that issue was. Because of that, I decided why not bring him back? He's actually a pretty good option for late depth as well. So yeah, a few days apart, we did those 2 trades for Ottawa. And I don't think they came in on the same day. I think one came in on the 29th, one came in actually on the 30th. So I don't know why they're down. I think they were both down on the 31st. I'll have to see about that. Yeah, no, they're both down on the 31st. Okay. So maybe I'll raise that on the forum. I haven't actually raised the issue of the issue here with the pictures, the regen faces, or the kits, or jerseys, whatever actually is causing that. But yeah, we did some new deals as well. Dries and Gillies will sort of be here for a little while. Cheap deals. Kamenev got his cheap deal as well. So I think that was pretty decent. I did end up sending down a couple of people, Francouz and Bellemare, basically to be replaced by these two who are younger and probably better. And then you see we did lose Gruber for a while, which kind of sucks. It does kind of suck. It wasn't for too long, but it was enough to kind of like derail us a little bit. So Bibeau came up as a rookie, and that's kind of a fun deal there. So overall, not too bad in terms of ability. You can see we've got our top line and then Gruber and McCarr lining up really as the start of the defense. Girard, 2.5 stars, not too bad. So the first sort of the top 6 guys, the men on the ice, Girard and McCarr, 2.5 and 2 stars. 2.5 and 3 stars. Gruber 3 stars in net. The wings are 4 and 4.5 stars and mainlined by Nate up top. So that's pretty good. Jost there, Donskoy, Nikushkin, Komfa, Burakovsky, all very decent second or third line wingers, I would say a 2-star or above. Kadri's in there. Dries is in there just. And then Eric Johnson as well. And then we start falling off in terms of not really having a 2-star top 4 defenseman. I think that hurts us. Not having a better goaltender hurts us. And yeah, so the issues we thought we'd have going into the season, I definitely think we've had. But at the same time, contracts, I think we're in a good place. Everybody's got a good deal. The players that are leaving us are players that really are replaceable. Even with a late round draft pick, they will be easily replaceable. At best, I think they're 1.5 star. So, nothing to worry about there. As I say, next season we're going to be calling up Bourne Byram. We could call up Pinto if we wanted to, 1.5 star. That's good enough to get started. Byram at 2 star. That really helps us on the left-hand side. And also then you've got Martin Kaut, only a 1 star, but as a depth player, we can possibly call him up. Bokage, 1.5 as well. Bowers, again, 1 star. They've all got decent potential. New Hook's only down to a 3 star potential, which I think is very harsh right now. So I don't believe that's a proper rating on New Hook, who went in this recent draft quite high. Top 20 pick in the draft that's just gone in real life. So yeah, that's interesting one. That's an interesting one. But like I say, I'm not too worried about it, honestly. I think we're in a good place, like I say. So yeah, all these guys will be like 4th liners here and a backup goalie in Werner if they hit their potential. And then maybe some 3rd liners, 2nd liners in Lewis and Weiss. Francis, that'll make a nice top 4 defenseman. We got more wing/centers here. And then people who could possibly play top line minutes as a defenseman. They won't have to with what we've got, but they could. 2nd liners as well at about 2.5 to 3 star. We got a few of those sprinkled about now. And then, like I say, guys who could make it onto the 2nd line properly and onto the top lines. We just got them all sitting here. So I'm pretty happy. Like I say, I'm pretty happy with that. I expect New Hook to jump up. If he is going to stay a 3, and I thought Pinto would fall down to like a 2nd line, maybe 3rd line center. Well, if New Hook takes up that role and, basically Pinto takes over from that 2nd or 1st line, like I thought that New Hook would be, that's not a bad trade. That's not a bad trade in positions. Again, you can see Pinto, Bokage, they're all sort of up in the mix right now. We could bring up AJ Greer as well, 2 star, 2 star, so we can dump Calvert and Wilson and know that we've got Greer to go to. Byram as well as McDonald, so people like Graves, Cole, Barberio, Connaughton. I'm not sure if McDonald's on his last year of the deal, but he could be gone as well as Kalle Rosen. So yeah, it's a chance to get rid of some of these players we don't need, and also possibly dump our front shoes, Bibo, Miner, Shmakov, etc. But yeah, we're at the playoffs. So let's see how the regular season went. And I say very, very similar. 13th place, exactly where we were with my roster I built. And I Q-rated the team. So I'm a little bit disappointed that we couldn't really get much going there in the other save, because we've rounded up basically where we were. So that's very disappointing. I really don't think too much of it, to be honest with you. So I don't think we were particularly robbed in the other one, or we did well or got lucky here. Anything really of that nature. But yeah, we're pretty much the same team in year one with my work or without my work. So, okay, that's fine. The wildcard race, you can see there, Toronto, Pittsburgh, just about coming in. Philly losing out on 96, a little bit harsh on them. And the Canes losing out on 85. That is fair enough. Now, for me, teams like Tampa Bay down this low is kind of strange, I've got to say. I did not expect them down that far. On this side of things, Anaheim sneaking in with below 90. Arizona sneaking in with 90. That's very interesting. But yeah, we managed to get in through the playoffs here. So, yeah. not really bad. LA as well missing out. I think that's quite big for me. Calgary looking like one of the worst rosters, and Vegas being like dead last. I did not expect that. I really did not expect that. Them and the Rangers I thought would be in and around the playoff mix. Detroit I thought would be that low. I did think they'd be that low. Ottawa I thought would be lower. They had a decent season. But a couple of teams, that the Knights, Rangers, Lightning, yeah, really, them missing out, I think, is kind of strange. Honestly, kind of strange. So this is a playoff picture then. We've got Carolina at Boston, Toronto at Florida, Philly at Columbus, and Pittsburgh at Washington. Dallas at Winnipeg. Seattle make a trip down to Nashville. We've got Anaheim and Arizona with us and San Jose. And the first game apparently didn't go well. So we outshot them. We took a couple of penalties. We didn't go on the penalty power play at all. We're not very good as well on penalty kill this year. That was quite lowly ranked, I believe. But good hits. Similar giveaways and takeaways. We're a little bit heavy on the giveaways, but that's probably in hand with the shots where we're in possession, so we've got it to give away. And of course, we don't really win face-off. So, yeah, they took a lead. Then they scored. We pulled one back. Then they just turned it on towards the end of the second period. And then McKinnon, Landeskog, but Evander Kane. He came up big for them. And, yeah, a hat-trick from Ferraro as well in defense. Nobody really played too well for us, bar McKinnon. You kind of expect that. Girard actually with a 72. That's pretty decent. Especially since, 77 defensively, and Sam Girard is a fairly offensive defenseman. Looking at their game ratings, Ferraro with an 80, Couture with an 80, Evander Kane, Timo Meyer, and Vlasic, who I expect to have a good game as well. But yeah, best player on the ice was McKinnon. It's just that everybody else kind of let us down. And face-offs, McKinnon not great at. So yeah, not the best start. Really not the best start, boys. Okay. You're your team leaders. McKinnon with 47. I think he got 52 in my initial test game where I, built my own roster a little bit through trading. Rantanen got a fair few assists. I think McKinnon got 55 in my test. No, he would have got more than that. If he got 52 goals and 111 points, we do the math, it'll be 59. Yeah, 59. So Rantanen getting 61 is more than McKinnon got in terms of assists in that tester. 98 points, kind of on pace what he did in real life last year, but nowhere near setting the league. Forsberg just one away from matching that total that McKinnon got for me in that one. Still top shots, but actually 21 less than he took. 411 down to, 21 shot, yeah. 411 down to 390. We weren't good on plus minus, face-offs, shot blocks, nothing like that. In fact, I don't think we appeared anywhere on either of these. But on this one, at least, McKinnon, 18 power play goals as well. So we look at his stats over the last two seasons. So 2019 was the real season. 41 goals, that moves up to 47 this year. 58 assists, down to 51. And 98 points, down to 99 down to 98. More penalty minutes, better plus minus. A better all-round player, but still not really where you want to be. We don't appear on these lists very much at all for goalkeeper, a goaltender, but Gruber 2.65. That's decent. That is decent. So yeah, you can see down here that goal scored McKinnon right up there. And then after that, we really fall off. Landeskog on 31, so nice to see the captain with a bunch of goals, almost a point per game player. And of course, we know that there were a lot of assists for Rantanen. But for some reason, in both my test season and this season, he just doesn't seem to score many goals. Which is ridiculous in how he plays in real life. 22 goals. You know, you might expect maybe 20 to 25 from Landeskog and 30 to 35 from Rantanen, with 40 or 45 from McKinnon. So McKinnon and Landeskog seem to be up from where I'd expect them, and Rantanen is down lower. But he does get a ton of assists. I say we are well up on that. And then again, we kind of drop off a little bit. McKinnon and Landy with 100 between them, 51 to 49 in terms of net. But it's top-line production. Again, there's not much coming from the middle six. There's not much at all coming from the defensive side. We're kind of out on our own. Like I say, 7th in the league, McKinnon, in terms of total points. Then Rantanen with 83. We know next up with 80 is the captain, Gabe Landeskog. And then we're just drifting and drifting. No second line production. No defensive production. Tyson Jost misses out on the top 100. I mean, technically he could be 100 depending how you weigh it, but yeah. 55 from him. And that's it. Cale Makar, top defenseman at 46. So I'm hoping these youngsters will grow into it a bit, but I do think they're better now than we're actually being given credit for in the game, because both times Colorado are set up as a one-line team, and we've already seen through 4 games this season that's just not the case, and we should never have been expected to be the case when everybody on that second line of Burakovsky, Donskoy, and Kadri are brand new and better than what we had last year. So I'm not too sure why, but it's what we've got to deal with. Penalty minutes, we don't give up too many. Power play goals that we saw, McKinnon's up there. The power play points, not up there. So yeah, not really as dominant on the power play as I'd expect us to be. And again, it's not even top line this time. It's just purely McKinnon getting that rub. Shorties from Chara, Carlson, Rick Nash, and Sundqvist. The points from Carlson, big power play and a penalty killing influence there. Game winners, Pasternak, Barkov, Huberdeau, Marchand, Ehlers, Ovechkin, and then no Colorado players at all. No Colorado players with big game winners. That is disappointing. And again, Nassim Kadri, McKinnon with 5. So yeah, we might be a bit more spread out. But really, it's disappointing. Ryan Reeves doesn't take that many shots, but he got a decent shot percentage for a large number of games. If we look here, 150 plus shots. Here we go. Austin Matthews, clear winner here. 294 in terms of shots, 16.7 shot percentage. That is impressive. Also up here, we got Zingle, who, fair play to him, pretty decent season. Fairly balanced as well, shots and assists, maybe a few rebounds from that high shooting percentage. And Kako, what a great year. 46 points, 30 goal scorer, and a pretty good return for him. Charlie Coyle, okay. Terry did okay as well. But yeah, I think Matthews is the most impressive one, but also the one who expected. Taves up there as well. Pasternak, decent. And again, like, we're not seeing good shot percentages from any of our players here at Colorado, which I think, again, just is Maybe the tactics, maybe the head coach. Maybe we're not set up the right way. So here we got Donskoy, 12.5. Like, I just don't know. Can we just sort by our team? I think we can check that on our team page. I actually want to do that to see where we are. Goals, 13th in the league for a very offense-heavy team. That is poor. Goals per game is 311. Again, that's pretty poor. Goals against, 259, good enough for 3.16 a game. That is a slight deficit. That is not good. Overall shots is high, though. So our shooting percentages are just that bad. Shots against, that's not bad. But goals against, I mean, for the number of shots faced, that makes that look even worse. Honestly, that makes that look even worse. You go up to Chicago and Toronto, and like, now you're getting into teams that probably have a worse sort of a worse shutout rate, because they're getting slightly more shots against them, but they're getting half a goal a game more than us almost. But yeah, that's poor. So it's on the back end that I see it, as well as, of course, one of the worst in the league on face-offs, mainly because McKinnon can't take them. In real life, Landeskog's the person that takes them. I'm very tempted, actually, to set up Landy as the first-line centre, move Rantanen onto the left, and push McKinnon on the right, just to see if that affects things. Or, just do an experiment where I swap Landy and McKinnon's face-off ratings and just simulate the first season. See if that affects things in any different way, because I don't think that's something you can do, because we normally have Landeskog taking face-offs, but McKinnon does play centre. So I'd like to see something like that represented in the team instructions somewhere. But it's a weird thing that not many teams have ever done, never mind do right now. So yeah, we'll see about that. Shot blocked, quite low. We're not that kind of team. Hits, we're really not that kind of team. On the takeaways, a little bit better than I expected. I thought we'd be fairly low on this one, but we did okay, but still it's on the lower end of things. And then giveaways, we actually take care of the puck really well, which again is a surprise. I thought would be top 10 in giveaways. So all in all, not too bad. Injury days, Ottawa got absolutely smashed this season. Collectively, over 2 years worth of missed days for Ottawa. Well, not over 2 years, but just under 2 years. Right down at the bottom, we did lose a couple of key players. We lost a couple of niggles, but we're less than 3 months of lost time. So we can't blame the injuries, but we didn't take away the puck. We didn't hit people. We didn't block shots. We didn't win face-offs. And defensively, especially on the penalty kill, we were poor. And our offense wasn't as lights out as we would have expected. Florida Panthers, the worst supported team in the league. Chicago, Montreal, Toronto, Washington, total sellouts. Colorado, 92%. Home average of 16,535. Away average of 17,414. It's not bad. It's not bad. Only 5 sellouts at home, 10 away. Like I say, the big guys up here, though. Home sellouts, 41. Washington didn't get that, but they did use their capacity. So maybe for 7 games they were on reduced capacity. I'm not sure how that works. But yeah, whatever it's going to be. Because I'd expect the capacity used would be like only 100 if you sold out all your games at home. So it's an interesting stat. Okay, we looked at these in the other video. So let's see the actual prospects. Again, we're not right high on this. Count is 14th. And that's about it, really. I think we fall off quite badly after that. New Hook, 53rd. Yeah. And if he's actually a 3-star player, he will fall down even further. Bokage, 82. Byram, though, all the way up at number 2. The best defensive prospect there is. McCann, of course, doesn't really count. He's in the first team and played games, so it is what it is. System rankings. See, Rangers ranked the worst. And a few big teams down there, of course, they're more set up for success. Now, we're actually 4th with Byram, Count, Shane Bowers, we must have missed him at 25, New Hook at 53, and Bokage at 82. That's not bad. That's not bad. Detroit have Valeno and Zadina at 1 and 7. Kings have Kupari, Veladi, Thomas, and Dursey in the top 50. Very top heavy there. 3 almost in the top 10. Carolina as well. Bok at 9th, Suzuki 16, Drury 26, Bean 27, and Martin 58, which is, I think, the lowest their number 5th row, 5th prospect was actually ranked. So he's the best number 5 in an organization. Kaliev at 5 is pretty good at 63. McIsaac 61. But pretty much it falls off pretty steeply for a lot of teams. But yeah, Kings and Canes building something pretty big. And Detroit have a couple of powerful forwards to take them into the future as well. So not too bad. Not too bad. Again, not much change here. We're still number 2 in center. We're still down low. Number 8, though. And again, if you look just by talent ratings, then maybe there's a case that Gabe's actually number 5 in the league. But we got him down at number 8. And Rantanen holds on to his 3rd place. And in defense, we still don't have anyone in that top 10. And of course, neither do we in goalies. So all in all, a little bit weird, but it is where it is. So I'm going to simulate through the week and we'll see the games as they pop up. But not a great start. So we're here now. Series tied 1-0. We win that 2-1. Looks like Shivarov is at left wing. Nieto almost back. We got goals here. Nothing in the first. Or, nothing at all in the first. Then a shared penalty. Sort of 5 minutes apart, but one each. Carrick and Comfort. Logan Couture with a goal for them in the 3rd. Tyson Jost pulls it back from Sammy G. Again, we outshot them. Not as many hits. More giveaways. Not as many takeaways. Lost the face-off battle, but this seems to be a really good setup. And again, it's that man, McKinnon, coming up big. Gerard, again, big defensively. Zadorov, Cole, solid. Johnson, solid. Yeah, McCann Timmons not really helping out on either end as much as I'd want. But good from Gerard there. That's a solid rating. Landy on a 69. That's decent. Kadri, 74. Rantanen did nothing. And McKinnon was, again, the best player here. Dylan, though, stepped up big for them. Hurtle played well. And Carrick did okay as well. Game rating-wise, very close again between the goalies. It's not going to be much difference. It's not going to be much difference between them. Let me come in here and it's going to be a shutout. San Jose lead the series 2-1 in a 2-0 win. You see that Washington-Pittsburgh, that is a rivalry right there. Not the easiest to read, but Sorensen gets it late in the 1st. Logan Couture in the 3rd. We do give up that penalty as well. So, yeah, penalties, but look at that, shots. They score 2 from 22. We don't score any on 41. But we're not hitting them. Less giveaways, that's good, but less takeaways again. Closer face-offs. Yeah, star man for them. In this one, I mean, they didn't play well at all. Dylan, again, probably the man of the series so far, him and McKinnon on either side. Gerard steps up again for us. Nikushkin, McKinnon. Not a great game for him, but he's still up there with the rest of them. But yeah, Gruber just wasn't good enough there. They did not deserve to win. They did not deserve to win. That was Gruber giving it back to them. We go to the next day, and we play game 4 against San Jose. A 4-goal third period. Goals there from Vlasic, and then just Rantanen. Couture evens it up. Game winner from Kamenev, bringing him back, and Nikushkin with the extra goal on top. Okay, that's good. Vlasic, Dylan, not a great game there from Dylan. First time he stepped off. First time, really, Gerard stepped off. McCarr stepped up instead, though. McKinnon, second quiet game in a row. Goalies, both pretty poor, but Jones let this one get away from him. So just like in the playoffs last year, there's not much separating the Sharks and the Avalanche, which was a shock then. It's not too much of a shock now. Early goals here. Donskoy, Jostin, Rantanen, but Radil getting one back. Hurtel, Donskoy there. And then Hurtel with LeBlanc. Not great. Cole and Gerard did well at the back. McKinnon was back to business. Nothing else up front. Hurtel, Halbwachs. We've got... That's it. Again, they're not really playing well. They're not playing badly, but they're not playing well at all. Gruber, yeah. It's all down to goaltending. We're going to lose this on goaltending. That's 3-2 to them. We keep out shooting them. We keep out playing them in patches. But we've got to close the door on them. They're not earning these goals. They're not playing really well. We're going to take them to a game 7. But if we had a goaltender that was willing to stand on his head for a bit, we'd be okay. McKinnon, he grabs a double, gets a penalty in between. Luckily, our only one of the series. Couture brings one back. Kadri finally on the sheet here in game 6. And then Dylan equalizes. Empty netter. Nice and easy. Extra skater. Nate McKinnon. Let's go. Brilliant. Brilliant. We didn't outshoot them that time, but we did outplay them. Again, quick look here. Vlasic did okay at 72. That was it, over 70 for them. LeBlanc and Meyer, Dylan, almost get there. For us, Gerard misses out, but Landy comes up big. McKinnon quiet, but still really, even his quiet games, he is a force in this league. Comfort, not too far off. But yeah, Gruber played decently. When he can match the opposition goaltender, I think we'll win games. But he takes too much time off. Game 7. Fully expecting to get knocked out here. San Jose. And there it is. It's another shutout. Did they earn this one? Kane on the power play. You take in. And Hurtel on the power play. So we give them penalties. Undisciplined game 7. Lost our heads. Outshot them by far. Again, it's just come down to goaltending there. It's just come down to discipline and goaltending. Sam Gerard's up there. McCann nearly hits it. Landy almost hits it. Nikushkin does. McKinnon on an 85. Probably the best player on the ice. Joe showed up. Vlasic actually shut down in game 7. He did really, really well there. But yeah, Couture and Hurtel. That's it. They've got 3 players over a 70. They got 70, 77, and 86. So my 70 is Jost. We've also got another one in Nikushkin and in Gerard. We can't match their 77, but we got McKinnon for the 86. And then goalies, that right there is your difference. 54 game rating, 3 goals against on 25. Whereas Jones kept the puck out 48 times. That's all it is. That's all it is. 2.5-star ability goaltender. Playing like a 4 or 5-star goaltender at times. A couple of bad games, very inconsistent, but we've got a better goalie apparently in 3 stars who played like absolutely trash in the playoffs. Sad to say. Sad to say. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna see the rest of this, I guess. We're gonna see the rest of this. I'll come back when the playoffs are done, and we'll see who did what, who lifted the cup, and then we'll head to the draft and try and be as quick as possible about it, because we're already running over. I'll get into the swing of making these shorter, but for right now, I just felt there was a lot to talk about. We'll get more streamlined as we go on, but yeah. Back when the playoffs are done, at the end of Season 1. Okay, quick interruption here for the Hall of Fame. You can see that all these nominees are in, and we get asked to add one name to that list. Here's our list that we can choose from. Many worthy names on here. Honestly, many names, but I got a bit of a soft spot for Keith Tkachuk for some reason. I don't know. Every time his name pops up here, I usually go for it, and then I champion him in the votes as well. So, don't know what team we're on there. NSP. Come on now, game. Might as well go all the way to the draft and then just look back on the playoffs. Okay. We'll be back. And okay, we're back at the end of the playoffs. We just rolled over into June. And we see that apparently our scouts have not found anything out about Alexis Lafreniere, who we know is going to be going 1 overall. We know we're not going to get number 1. So there's no point in scouting it. But that being said, we shouldn't scout then who we think are going to be like down towards the top 15 because we made the playoffs. So maybe not even like just the top 5. Whoever we think's in that mix. Potential fallers that I'd be happy with would be someone like a Marco Rossi. I think we're probably 16, 17 in the draft. Drysdale for a defender, maybe. Askarov, if he's actually that good, might be a bit of an interesting pickup for a long-term goalie. And yeah, we're a real mixed bag here. This is where I want to hire my own scouts, because normally, like with $1 million in the budget, I'll sign some more coaches, and then I'll sign a ton of scouts, and that will mean that we actually get people scouted. But interesting to see that number 1 overall pick, the almost consensus number 1 pick, it's between him and Byfield. But Lafreniere just is not even close to being scouted. Interesting. Okay, Bartlett. Again, we champion Keith Tkachuk for this one. Players that I've always liked. Bronick is in that. Turgeon a little bit. Moans, yes. Sergei Gonchar a little bit as well. Now, my last one's really tough. So I've got Danfus, Brindamore, Alfredson, Suter, Hammerlick, Duchesne. Who do I go for? Who do I go for? I think out of them all, I'm probably going to go for a Rod Brindamore over those guys. And yeah, if they all got in, of course, then next year I'm going to be going for someone like Alfredson and Danfus and probably Turgeon and whoever we champion again next season. So, there we go. There's my 4 votes. I do like that Hall of Fame sort of little teaser there about who do you want to go in, and you never have as many votes as players that you might have liked. If you've been a fan of the NHL for 10, 15 plus years, there's going to be names there that you know, that you like, and that you just can't decide between. And I find myself in that category every single time. Okay, a few extensions to be worked out. So Heppel is a decent scout. Actually want to bring him back, so that's 4 years and done. Lapierre is not great. Or Laperriere, whatever. Clark's a decent coach. He's not amazing, but again, it'd be worth bringing him in. Brian Wilsey, I like as well. Decent all-round coach. A little expensive, but decent. Bednar, we're going to try and go a different way. Our trainer's not the best, so we're going to go a different way. Funk as a scout, I don't believe is any good. Brockway, not interested in bringing you back. Del Pico, not interested in bringing you back. And here we go. So we've got our four-man shortlist select up to 2. Brunick and Gonchar there. Mons, yes, I would probably vote him in over some of the names, but not ahead of Gonchar there. So those will be my 2 in the runoff. And again, back towards the draft. We'll probably get another one of those messages, though, that we do have to clear up. And hey, we didn't even need to pause the game. Mons or Gonchar, again, I think we're championing Gonchar at this point. Other people are voting for Mons, which is why we're both in there. But I don't know him very well. I know kind of his legacy a little bit. But of course, I wasn't around for his career. Whereas Serge Gonchar was much more my time period with falling in love with the game in the mid-90s to the early 2000s. There we go. We got a runoff again. So we can select up to 1. We might as well select our 1. I just wonder now if Gonchar didn't get enough to go through and Mons didn't get enough to go into the Hall of Fame. So now we're voting yes or no just on Mons on his own. Okay, I realized that I might have made a mistake. I went back and watched the footage and I realized I said no to Brockway. Brockway's actually really good. So there he is. 19 evaluating potential. I'm sorry, but like I messed that up. That's on me. That's on me. So he does get another deal. He does get another deal. But like that, I want to do my stuff now. I don't know. I don't want to wait. I'm gonna wait like the 8-9 days it's gonna take. It's fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah. Okay. So the team at the moment, I think, looks pretty decent. We lack a little bit of quality, but we're very young. So this draft will help out as well. Also, we got some very good young players. It's really the veterans who aren't cutting it at this stage. Look at those 26 and older, like Dries, Gilly, Nieto, Calvert, Cole, Johnson. We lose all those tomorrow. It's not an issue. Kadri's decent, Grubar's decent, Donskoy's decent, and of course, Gabe is our captain. But really, apart from that, there's not much I really like that's going to be a game changer. Those are backup. John Gillies will be decent. So we would keep him around as well. But really, half of those can go for 26 and older. They're just never going to make an impact. So if we're going to have older players, they've got to be sort of top of the depth chart. They've got to be impact players, and they've got really to have an effect on the team, like Kadri. Even as a second-line center, that's good enough. The only problem is, I don't think, unless we trade away Jost, and even then we got Donskoy over here, like I don't think we're going to get better as a second-line right winger. We're set in the center, Nikushkin's on the left. Like, it's really third and fourth liners I think we can get the youngsters in for, so we don't really need to improve the top. It's in defence, however. Cale Makar, Sam Gerrard, that's a decent first pair lineup. Byram will come in. We need to get rid of probably Eric Johnson for a decent player in that spot as the second defensive line on the right side. And then get rid of Colin Graves. Run with Zadorov as 6th or 7th D-man on that left-hand side with Timmins on the right. I think we'll be decent there, but I might look to upgrade Grubar as well. So, really, I need a right defenseman of, decent quality who's quite young. We're bringing in Byram. So, that gives us Johnson and Grubar to trade away. There's a possibility also that we've got Jost to trade away. And we've got other players that might be good to call up. So we've got a lot of veterans who we can trade away. This could get interesting.